So today we are talking some of the most viral products, especially on TikTok, where I just noticed products tend to go viral quite easily. Are they actually worth the hype? Because I find that a lot of things are viral, but not necessarily do they always work for me. Maybe they won't work for you as well, but there is some good things too. So I tried so many products. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Now this brand I see all over my For You page, and I've been wanting to try for years, but I've always been a little bit hesitant. And that brand is Halara. They are kindly sponsoring today's video, and I'm gonna show you guys some pieces that I got in from them. They specifically like to focus on like active wear, which is what I tend to wear a lot of in the summer. So I got a couple things in. I'll tell you, I was hesitant mostly because like I wasn't sure what kind of quality I would actually be getting. I was like, are people just hyping this up because it's on TikTok Shop and they can make money off of it, or is it actually good? Because I've tried to order some more affordable pieces off like Amazon and stuff that I just felt like the quality wasn't great, but I was highly impressed with what I got in the mail from Halara. I ordered size large and pretty much all the items, and I was a little bit worried because I feel like a lot of brands like this typically run really small, but everything fit really nicely. Now I love a good active dress, and this one in particular honestly is top tier because the shorts are like slightly detachable, so when you have to pee you can just easily pull the shorts down. You don't have to take your whole top of your dress off when peeing, and it also has pockets on the inside too, so you could stick your phone in there as well. I do feel like this hot pink color enhances like my midsection a little bit, and I kind of wish the little bra shelf came down a little bit lower, or it was just a little thicker in that area. So that's my only complaint, is that yeah, right where under my boobs and like between the seam for my waist, it's just a little bit enhanced. It's a little thin there, so that's my only complaint about the dress. But overall I really like this, and it's just very easy to throw on for the summer. I also got this high-low dress. I just thought that this one looked really cute on. It's like a little fancier. I loved this color. It does come in multiple colors. It has that kind of spandexy legging material on the top, and then the bottom is like that quick dry material, so if you get any sweat, any water on, it's not going to show. And it does come with shorts that you can slip on underneath, again to tuck in your phone, just so you're not like flashing everyone if it's a windy day. One of the things that I was most impressed with is their like bra tops. Now I've tried ones from like Lululemon and Target, and they run so small. Even the Lululemon ones, I have to wear like a 16 to fit in those because they are so tight. These fit so perfect. They have a great amount of stretch. I was so impressed with the quality. So I got this like rust colored one. This has almost a little bit of a different material. It's a little more cotton feeling, but still very stretchy. And then the back has this gorgeous crisscross design. I do have it paired in the video with the shorts. They're not exactly the same color, which it's fine. I just threw them together. I love these kind of shorts that have like the built-in layer underneath. You don't have to wear underwear if you don't want to, but also these are a little more loose and flowy, so if they do fly up, you still have that extra layer underneath too. They fit really nice, very true to size as well. I did order a pair of their leggings. Oh my gosh, these are so soft. They kind of remind me of the Airy ones. They're a little thinner, but they feel like nothing on the skin, like they're barely there. I would personally like a little bit more compression in the midsection, or for this to come down a little bit lower, because I'm an apple shape. I carry most of my weight in my midsection, so that part can stick out a little bit underneath that crossover. But also the colored ones are going to show that a little bit more. If you just order a solid black, it shouldn't really show that much, but these honestly fit so good. I love the pockets on them, and just this material is so buttery. I can't get over it. Another bra top that I really like is this black one with the crisscross back. This one comes up a little bit higher, but it still isn't going to be showing your whole midsection. I really like this material too. It's such a soft, stretchy cotton. Again, so surprised that this fit perfectly and had enough stretch. It fits if you have a larger chest too, which is so hard to find in activewear. Those are the products I tried from Halara, and I was really impressed. I think they're definitely worth the hype, and I definitely plan on making some more orders with them. There's just a couple things that I'm a little more nitpicky about. Of course, I like to mention that so you guys can make sure you're getting what you like and getting the best fit. But yeah, everything fit really nice, true to size, and I absolutely love the material. It feels very high quality. I have a couple coupon codes. If you guys want to check them out down below, I'll have them listed. But Halara is 100% worth the hype. Let's get into the makeup products because I feel like I have probably the most in this category because makeup is always going crazy over on TikTok, and I feel like that's really where like the hype starts. Now, I feel like this has been pretty TikTok viral. I have seen it on my page quite a bit of times, and that's actually why I purchased this. It's this Colorscience tinted SPF, and it goes on like a normal kind of white SPF, but then the color tints a little bit to your skin tone. There is a few different shades in this. I do feel like it does fit multiple different tones because it is a light coverage, but I think this is really nice. I'm outside a lot in the summer. We do a lot of camping and boating on the weekends, and this is pretty much what I wear. I don't even wear foundation because this just kind of does it for me. It's an all-in-one, my SPF 50 plus my tint so that my skin's nice and even, because I do feel a little more comfortable and confident when I have a little something on my skin because I don't have the most perfect skin. It's not a super even tone. I have a lot of redness, and this just helps even everything out, and it actually stays really well for my oily skin too. So this has been just like my favorite SPF and tint in one. It is so good, and definitely a product that is worth the hype. I think I'm kind of over the Glow Recipe Dewdrops. I know everyone goes crazy for them, but I think I've just kind of given up on them. With having oily skin, these aren't the best. I feel like you want that glow in the summer, and these just kind of make my skin look a little too greasy. They did come out with the new Sun Glow like tinted drops, but I just don't always love bronzing drops because a lot of the times they go super orange on me. They don't always look the most natural. So this adds a little too much glow, I think, for what I like. And when I'm layering my SPF in this and a foundation, it just gets to me too many products, especially in the summer. So I think this one is just a me thing. A lot of these are going to be very personal towards my skin type, but I don't know. I think honestly, if you do have oily skin, I don't really think you need the glow drops. I think it's just going to add too much. I would rather just put on like my face milk in the morning, my SPF, and then not have this extra step in there. I think it just becomes too greasy, and my foundations don't last as long when I have this on. Plus, I just don't love the overall tone of this in general. Now, if you do have oily skin and want to stay matte in the summer, I would 100% get this. Danessa Myricks knows how to make really good mattifying products. I absolutely love their Yummy Skin Balm Powder, but this is also so good. If you didn't like the Yummy Balm, maybe it didn't work out for you, you didn't like the texture, try this instead. It's the Water Powder Serum. So it actually does come out like a serum, and then it actually does dry down to more of a powder finish, which you can't really see on my hand, but I often find that my little thing will get a little clogged if I don't clear it out because it does dry to a powder. So it is annoying that I have to kind of scrape off the top of this before I use it, but it works honestly so well at mattifying and also feeling so lightweight on the skin. So like I said, I don't want to layer too many products. I don't want a lot of glow because it's already hot enough. I'm already sweating outside, so my foundation's already gonna get really dewy on its own. So having something more mattifying in the summer is key, and this has been such a godsend. I do feel like my Yummy Balm works a little bit better at keeping me matte, but this is still a really good product. And again, it's a texture thing. If you don't love the balm, I think you'll actually like this serum instead because it literally feels like nothing on the skin, but I just put a little in my T-zone and it does keep me matte throughout the day. Let's talk foundations because there's been a lot. I wanted to talk about kind of the most that I've seen around, and especially on TikTok. This is like the most viral foundation. This is by the brand Tir Tir or Tir Tir. It's a Korean kind of skincare makeup brand, and I've been seeing this everywhere. Everyone's been raving about it, so I had to try it for myself. I did notice the shade range is not the best, but that's kind of typical for K-beauty products. Anyways, it does come in this really cool bright red packaging, and it is a cushion. So I haven't tried a cushion foundation in years, since it had its moment. Do you guys remember when L'Oreal had one? That is probably the last time I tried a cushion foundation, but they are very popular in Korea. I tried this out. I will say it has really full coverage. Like, I was honestly shocked at the coverage. Was not expecting that because I feel like K-beauty is usually a little more natural, your skin but better, but whoa, it has full coverage, goes onto the skin really nice, but I will say this looked really cakey on me, and I did not like how my texture was showing up more than normal. And it's so hard because I am oily, but I do still have texture spots, so a lot of times if you do use too many mattifying products, your texture is going to be enhanced. And I do think this is a pretty matte foundation, and it is very long wearing, but I just do not like how my skin looks with this on. I think it's too heavy. I've tried going on with a little bit less product, but from the get-go, my skin just looks caked, bumpy all throughout the day. It just does not wear well on my skin. I know so many people love this, but if you have texture, I would avoid. I just had high expectations, and this just did not live up to the hype in my opinion. Now, something I actually do really like, this has been really popular because every time e.l.f. drops something, it usually goes viral. So they came out with their Soft Glam Satin Foundation, and this I have been loving. It's only $8, but I don't like this just because of the cheaper price tag. I think it actually performs well. This is more full coverage in my opinion. Medium to full. It's less coverage I think than the Tir Tir one, but I love how this looks on my skin. It is beautiful. I think it does oxidize a bit, so go maybe a little bit lighter than you think, but this wears really well for me, especially in the summer. I really like this paired with the e.l.f. Putty Primer, the liquid one. Those go together so well. But I also have it on today with the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin and the Makeup by Mario Bronzing Serum, and I think it looks flawless. Now, one that I think is good. I think it's good, but I'm not obsessed as everyone else seems to be. Everyone's been hyping up the Urban Decay Face Bond Foundation, especially my oily skin people. But I have to say, every time I try this, I love how it looks. It's so lightweight on the skin. It's definitely a true medium coverage, medium lighter, and it just still gets oily on me. Like, I was expecting this to like last and not get too greasy because it does have like a built-in, it's supposed to be self-setting or whatever, but I don't find those claims to be true. It does have very high claims, but I still have to use like all my mattifying products with this to make this last. It does last. I shouldn't say it doesn't last because it lasts on the skin, but I just get really greasy within like a few hours. So I don't know how the oily girlies are loving this one, because for me, I just thought it was okay. I definitely have some foundations that perform better for the hype, but I mean, it's good. It's just not like wow level, you know? So I think it's fine. I'm still gonna keep it and use it in my collection, but it's definitely not like a top 5 for life, you know? So I think that this is okay, but not necessarily worth the crazy hype it's been getting. Now, One Size is a brand I always see trending on TikTok even more than on YouTube, and they released these kind of new like colored powders. And this is probably just a me thing, but I don't really like them. They're too pigmented. So I have their Ultra Peach. I've tried their pink one too. I am pretty fair, and these darken my under eyes when I use them. I feel like these are gonna work better if you have more medium to deeper skin tones. So for me, these aren't worth the hype, but again, that's just gonna be personal preference. If you're fair to light skin, I would avoid these. I found this with many setting powders, not just the One Size, but yeah, I don't love their tinted powders. I love their translucent one though. I think that one's great for oily skin. A great under eye brightening powder for more fair to light skin is actually the Givenchy. I would also say this one's pretty viral, especially in the rose shade number 3. This is not too dark. It has 4 different colors in here. There's like somewhat of a translucent powder. There's a creamy like beige, a pink, and a peach all mixed in, but they don't like take over. They're not gonna darken your under eyes. These actually, in my opinion, brighten much better than like the One Size or even the Huda ones. So that's just a little tip. If you have fair to light skin, skip those, but if you are medium to deep, I think you will probably like those, and those will definitely work much better for you. Let's talk about some trending bronzers. Lately, it's been the liquids and creams that I've seen all over, especially this one from LYS. This is really popular on TikTok. I would say not so much on YouTube, but I actually really love this. This is ultra pigmented, so creamy. You put it on and you're almost like, oh, this is gonna be too much, but the fact that it's really pigmented but still blends out like a dream, This is the ultimate bronzer stick in my opinion. You have to like a little bit more pigmentation though. If you're all about the supernatural look, this might not be for you, but I do feel like it blends out so nice on the skin. They really created the best bronzing stick and I love this so much. It's 100% worth the hype. I have shade Motivate, but one that's not worth the hype for me is the Makeup by Mario. I feel like everyone either loves this or hates it, and I just don't think it's worth the money personally. This is cool. It's like a multi-use product because you can pump it out or you can use the little doe foot applicator, but it's supposed to be multi-use where you can use it as like a bronzing serum or you can use it as a liquid bronzer for the face. But the thing is, this does not show up. Like, you will put it on and it will blend away within seconds. So much so that I actually had to buy a light medium shade, which is not my shade. I bought like the second lightest to start out with and it disappeared. This one still disappears. It's like whenever a brush touches this, it's immediately gone. So it's kind of like a gel finish. It's just too natural for me. I want something when I put it on, it's at least gonna show up a little bit. This just blends away too much. The way I've been finding that I like it though is using as an all over face bronzer, so like a bronzing drop basically. I do like the tones in here, so I feel like they don't look as orange as most bronzing drops. So that's what I've been using mine for, but it's not ideal. I would love to use this as an actual liquid bronzer on the skin, but it just doesn't work out for me that way, and I definitely have better products that perform actually like they should and do show up. Let's get into some blush because blush has been crazy trendy this year, so I feel like I have the most in this category. But the Milk Makeup little jelly blushes, these are a hit or miss with people, but I personally like them. I have never had a problem with them, but I have seen people roast these to filth as well. I think it's just the way that I apply it. I dip my brush onto the product and then put it on my skin, and these are great. They blend out fine for me. I've seen people having issues if they're dotting them on the face where it removes like foundation and stuff like that, but that's not usually how I apply liquid blush. I generally don't like to just like dot stuff on my face because you do have a risk of removing your foundation, transferring, blotchiness. I've never had an issue with these. Now I've had these, has it been a few months now, and they still haven't dried out. I've kept the cap on it and they still perform just as new. I was a little bit worried about how that would be. I mean, we still have some more mini months to go to see if these do dry out a little bit faster than other creamy or liquid blushes, but so far I haven't had an issue. I like these. They stain the cheeks a little bit, so they last a little bit longer, and I think they're so fun. So these were, personally, I thought they were fun and worth the hype. Now, one I didn't love so much, more of a personal issue, but the Haus Labs. These are the Glassy Blush Balms. Now I know on TikTok it's a lot of people that love that natural glowy makeup, but some of us have oily skin and those products just don't work for us, and sometimes they do, but this one in particular did not. It was literally glass on the skin, which can be a good thing if you have dry skin, but for me, absolutely not. When products are too glassy like this, as soon as I do start applying them on my cheeks, that's when I do get the foundation removal, and I do feel like it did remove my foundation even applying it with a brush, just because it is so glossy. So these kind of products never really work out for me very well. If you have oily skin, I would probably pass on these Haus Labs, but a lot of people are really liking them too because they are easy to blend, but I definitely have better cream and stick blushes in my collection for sure. And on that note, probably my favorite of all are these Kosas powder blushes. So I'm definitely a powder girly when it comes to my blushes, but I love these. They're baked. They have like a nice radiance to the skin without being too much. I love that it gives me pigment with a little bit of glow. It's like the perfect amount. I keep reaching for these. It's honestly hard not to reach for these every single day. They're definitely probably my favorite blush of the moment, and I think they are so stunning. I have Euphoria here, which is a nice rosy tone, and I did recently pick up this pink one and I've been loving it. This is Butterflies, probably my new favorite baby pink blush. I know there's a lot on the market, but this one's just gorgeous. These aren't like overly pigmented. They give you just enough color without having to put on layers and layers of blush for it to show up, but also it won't give you clown cheeks right away. But these just look so beautiful on the skin. I am obsessed. Absolutely worth the hype. Now these Rare Beauty, I feel like these have been viral, but not everyone's loving them. They're described as a powder blush, but they're like a blush lighter. So people are pissed at these because they're more highlighter than blush. But I don't know. I'm not mad at it. Personally, I use these as a blush topper. I'll take it a little bit onto where I place my blush, plus a little bit higher so that I get a little more highlighty glow too. And pretty much all highlighters, powder highlighters are going to show texture on the skin. Anything glowy is going to enhance texture. So a lot of people are kind of mad about that aspect, but it is to be expected. But I think people were just expecting one thing and it wasn't really that. It's definitely not like a blush. I would not put this all over my cheeks by itself, but it looks beautiful topped on top of my blush and as a highlight. Especially I love the shade Cheer. Happy is another one I use. But here's the big problem I have with these, okay? These are so fragile. I have broken a couple of these now. I don't know if I will repurchase, because when you spend over $20 on something and it breaks, it's basically money wasted. Yes, you can repress it, but I find when I repress stuff, it never performs the same after. So that's definitely a turn off for me with those. So I said my blush category was the biggest, but I think my lip category is bigger, because lip balms, lip glosses have been super trendy right now, and I've tried a lot of the viral ones. So let me just kind of give my thoughts. First being the Huda. These are the faux filler. They're supposed to be like glassy lip glosses. They really advertise these to be like this super shiny formula, and I find that it's actually not that shiny on the lips. I definitely have more shiny formulas. It's also a thin formula, so I feel like it doesn't last. Like this is gone within probably 30 minutes, which is very disappointing. Like I like a thicker gloss, so I know it's going to last a bit longer, but I just expected from the campaigns that this was going to be one way, and it definitely wasn't. I think instead these are better. The Haus Labs, these are the PhD hybrid lip glaze. These have that thicker glossy feel. They're so shiny. They do actually look like glass. They perform so much better in my opinion than the Huda. I have similar shades here. The Huda is in Posh, the Haus Labs is in Cocoa. Love these, 100% worth it, but the Huda, no. Now, lip balms, I had to narrow it down to 3. I could definitely do more. I could make a whole separate video on lip balms, but lip balms are always really trendy, I feel like on TikTok especially. And one that I see mostly on TikTok rather than like YouTube are the Salt Air balms. This is their lip oil balm. I think these are awesome, and they're so affordable too. It's like $8 or $9. They smell delicious. It smells like coconut, like a toasted coconut scent. I absolutely love it. These have a nice medium consistency. I tend to like a thicker balm. These are not necessarily thin, but they're not necessarily thick, and these I like that they are a little more pigmented than some other lip balms on the market. This specifically is in Dragon Fruit. I have it on my lips right now, but they just came out with some more colors in these too, which I'm excited to try. But I think these are excellent. I honestly love them. One that I didn't love so much are the Tower 28 ones. Now I think these are good, but when it comes to all the other lip balms I've tried this year, these do rank a little bit lower. And I think a lot of it is because of the applicator. It has this rounded applicator, so they're messy. And these are also pigmented. And I think they're really honestly similar in formula to the Salt Air, but when it comes down to it, these just apply way better. I would get the Salt Air over these Lip Softies from Tower 28. These just have a thinner consistency. They're pigmented, but yeah, that rounded tip just really is a deal breaker. And then of course, Summer Fridays is always trending, I feel like everywhere, and I do think these are also worth the hype. This has been my favorite formula for a long time. I just think they have the perfect consistency, and this scent is my favorite. Most of them smell a little bit like vanilla cake. There's some that smell a little bit different. This one is just one of their limited ones, their birthday one. But a lot of these are a little bit lighter in pigmentation. They're not as pigmented as the Salt Air ones, but I think these are slightly thicker than the Salt Air. These are just my top tier formula, and I have like so many shades of them, and They're just perfection for moisturizing the lips and giving a little tiny tint of color. Now this one I do see a lot on TikTok. This brand in general, it's very aesthetically pleasing, so I feel like people go crazy for this. This is by Gisou, and this is one of their lip oils. Now they recently just came out with colored ones. Originally they just had like a plain clear one, but I decided to try one of the colored ones during the Sephora sale. So I grabbed their strawberry sorbet, and I have tried a lot of lip oils in my time here, and I do think these are just average, basic, okay, not a love. I definitely have ones that I love a little bit more. Like I mentioned, I like a little bit of a thicker formula when it comes to my lip oils. These are very thin. Like I mentioned, I like a thicker formula when it comes to my lip oils, and these are thin, so they're not going to wear very long on the lips, which definitely can be a deal breaker for me. Now I love that they did come out with the tinted formulas. This does make the lips look nice and juicy, but I would probably honestly reach for the e.l.f. ones over this, the Dior over this, even Colourpop's new lip oils. This is just for looks in my opinion, and I do think there's better ones on the market. So that's enough about makeup. Let's move into the next category, which is gonna be just kind of like my body, fragrance, and hair products. Now I guess I only have one hair product, but I mostly like this for fragrance, honestly. Lush Super Milk Leave-In Conditioner. This has been blowing up on TikTok, and it's mostly because of this scent. It has this incredible lemon, almost spicy, zesty, warm baked good scent to it that is just incredible and like nothing I've ever smelled. Crazy thing is, it's a leave-in conditioner, but the scent is so powerful that you use this and people are going to be smelling your hair for days until you wash it again, because it is that strong. The scent truly lingers in the hair, which is nuts. I will say, formula wise, as far as a hair product goes, at first I didn't love it. I was putting too much in, and I have very fine hair that can get weighed down easily, so I was spraying quite a bit in, and I just noticed that my hair would look really just like flat, greasy. It just did not look very good. So what I've been doing is actually just like spraying a few pumps into my hand like this, and then I will work that into the ends of my hair, just getting out of the shower, and I find that that works better for me. I'm not getting too much product, it's distributing it evenly, and now I really love it and use it almost every time I wash my hair. Definitely worth the hype. I have this humongous bottle. I probably could have bought the small one, and I did see that they have a shower gel of this on their website right now. They just launched it, but I think it's limited, so you're gonna have to grab it. It might be out of stock by the time you see this video, but they always have the leave-in conditioner in stock. This is a very TikTok hyped brand, and it's called Canvas Beauty. Their body glazes are really popular. I did try a couple out for myself, and I will say I wasn't that impressed. It does have kind of an oil formula, so it looks like a thick balm, and then you put it on the skin and it starts kind of melting into a body oil almost. But for me, I find this to be a little too heavy, a little too greasy on the skin, and the scents that they have are very artificial smelling. So unfortunately, I was disappointed in these. I definitely have better body butters and body oils in my collection that don't leave a greasy residue and that just sink into the skin a little bit more, while this just kind of sits on top. Sure, they have some nice bakery scents, but yeah, very artificial smelling, and I just didn't really get the hype with these personally. Now we're gonna end the video on perfumes, because you guys know I'm such a fragrance girl, and I have discovered a lot of really good Arabian perfumes on TikTok, and these are very hyped on there. I don't think I've even talked about this one yet, but I did end up buying this Khair Fusion from Paris Corner, and people were saying that this smells like Kayali Eden Sparkling Lychee. And it absolutely does, but I think it's even better. So the thing with these Arabian perfumes is they are affordable, but they are so strong and long lasting on the skin. I've never been disappointed in the performance of these Arabian perfumes. I actually love this so much that I ended up decluttering my Kayali to keep this. I think it's like honestly a little bit better than the Kayali. You still get that yummy, juicy, lychee candy. There's a little bit of florals in the mid too, but wow. This is stunning, and it's just way more longer lasting than the Kayali one, and for some reason they are not like restocking that. The Sparkling Lychee's been out of stock for months. Of course, it's a permanent one, so I'm assuming it will come back eventually, but honestly, just get this instead. Hopefully this is in stock because it has been selling out too. I also had to mention, because this is a recent viral perfume on TikTok. This is Eclaire from Lattafa. Actually, one of my videos on this went very viral, and the reason that this is blowing up is because it's a really great dupe of Bianca Latte, which is another really popular scent that really got viral on TikTok as well. And it's like this milky, almost powdered sugar, vanilla and chocolate kind of scent. There's a little bit of honey in there. It is like the ultimate gourmand fragrance. Some people don't love Bianca Latte. Honestly, try this one. I feel like this is almost a little bit sweeter and smoother. I will say this one is not as long lasting as Bianca Latte, but it still lasts very long. Like, I can get 8 hours of wear with this, no problem. Bianca Latte is just like an insane powerhouse, but this is delicious. I think the packaging is so pretty too. Honestly, definitely worth the hype. Of course, I have to include one that wasn't worth the hype for me. This is by Qissa. It's called Delicious, and people were raving about this one, saying it's like this yummy, chocolatey, good scent, but I got it in the mail and it smelled just like Sabrina Carpenter's Sweet Tooth. So I don't know, that's already an affordable fragrance, so I was kind of let down. What's nice though is if you like that one, it's not the most long lasting scent. This will last you much longer on the skin, but I was just expecting something a little different. I was not expecting it to smell like Sweet Tooth. It's kind of like this cloud of caramel, chocolate, and musk. I definitely don't love it as much as I love Eclaire. This one's going to be a declutter. Let's end it on one of the most viral brands on TikTok, Sol de Janeiro. Especially this scent in particular went crazy this year, mostly because of the weird spider claims. You guys know what I'm talking about. That was so silly, but they definitely got the fragrance hyped up. This was their number 59 at Delicia Drench, but pretty much all their scents go very viral on TikTok, and honestly, I get the hype. I do. There's rarely a Sol de Janeiro scent that comes out that I don't love. I will say their summer collection though, not worth the hype. Didn't love it this year, but thankfully they brought back bikini season for us. But 59 has been such a love for me. I rarely buy the big bottle, but this one I had to have the big bottle. Oh my word. It is this gorgeous, sugary, slightly floral, like grown up vanilla in my opinion. It is beautiful. I cannot get enough. The body butter in this is so gorgeous too. It's actually thicker than their other body butters, and I just love it. Love, love, love this. Sol de Janeiro, their whole brand in general is worth the hype for me. Love so much of their releases, and this one was top tier for me so far this year. So that's gonna be it for this video, talking about some of the most hyped up viral products on TikTok that have also probably made their way onto YouTube as well. As you can see, not everything viral is actually worth the hype, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to check out Halara. I'll have the link down below. All the items I tried on will be linked, as well as any discounts I have. I have a couple coupon codes. They are both a one-time use only, but yes, I'll have all those down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.